I just made a video. You always switch the timeline. I don't know how to put that in the proper. I don't know how to prove it quite right. I mean, I can prove it with the algorithms and the keys. People are just like sleeping when they just don't get it. It's amazing, though. This document, you're not able to find anywhere else. It's from the Defense Sciences Office, Applied and Computational Mathematics. Schwartz was the program manager on that. It is awesome. This thing straight up talks about time reversal, morphing aircraft structures. I don't know anybody else who has it. It's on my Facebook, but I straight up say you're not able to find this anywhere else. Come on. And that's the truth. You know, I'll show you right here. DARPA Applied in Computational Mathematics. It doesn't pop up. This is all new stuff, though. Ooh. That's actually meeting. Okay. Ooh. Juicy. Oh, good. You know, sometimes they hide these docs. Andrew says it. Andrew says that they would hide documents on different timelines in deep underground military bases, okay? And I'm on an entrance right now. I'm not able to show you with this camera, but I did just get a video here. So I can show that, but I'm going to go ahead and upload this. Let me see. Fuck that. Nuclear. Oh, shit. I think I just disappeared. For some people that were after me. Was it a repository? I hope so. Yeah, it was. Okay, good. Yeah, but Andy says that they would hide documents on other timelines to keep them, and it's the same thing with fucking energy technologies. Like they'll put them in a timeline where it's just so fucked up. Like if you're in the wrong timeline, you don't have access. It's the land of the denied clearance, as Aesop would say. And you know, it's some pretty heavy shit. And man, I've been going nonstop. We got some heavy stuff today. I don't know if that account was shut down. And this is going to sound nuts, but we called it on the 1st that we were going to make a breakthrough in this case. Man, these guys have been following me. They're trying to cover up everything, and I just went smack dab in this middle of this ring and said, you guys are going to get fucking busted. We're watching you. We already know everything about you. And I've got the recording of that. And the guy they sent me on the call was in on it, and that's why they sent him. And I leaned on that guy so hard that he started to break, and we got it on tape. I say we. I did that because I knew I had to. God's by my side on that, man. And where's I going? I'm going to show you guys. Man, I'm trying to tell you guys that we got this stuff. So here's the one. This is important. Important.
Hello.
Hello, is Eugene Irvin?
Yeah.
Hi, Eugene. This is Detective Rich. I'm with the FBI here in Dallas.
Yeah. What's going on?
Not much. I received a message to give you a call regarding something that you're reporting.
I'll tell you something. I don't hope it makes me crazy to you, but
I just pulled up to a secure data center. I don't know what your timing is about, but it's weird. I hope it's a godsend, sir. Tell me your name again.
Detective Rich, R-I-C-H.
and why are you calling me in regards to which?
Did you report something to the FBI?
I did, and I've been trying to get through to you guys, and I'm glad that you've taken an interest in it. Do you want me to go first, or what do you have? Do you have questions for me? What's going on?
I actually don't have much other than that you had called in and
made a report to a National Threat Operations Center, which is not the Dallas division. And
well, I find it interesting that you're calling from the Children's Advocacy Center because a man named Greg Willis does work out of that office, and he's the district attorney in Collin County. And
no, actually, he does not work out of this office. He works out of the district attorney's office in Collin County.
Well,
I work out of the Children's Advocacy Center, and I know Mr. Willis very well, actually. So,
do you trust him as an FBI guy?
He's not an FBI guy, but
no, I mean you. As you being an FBI guy, do you trust him?
Sure.
I'd like to trust him. Tell me your name one more time.
Detective Rich.
Rich. What's your first name, Rich? Is it
Jeff?
Jeff. Okay, you can call me Sonny if you want to. Here's the thing. I received some information, and it has a connection to the Secret Service, which I've been around to varying degrees since I was a young kid. I grew up in a family that's been kind of steeped in intelligence and still has active ties to this little political community that are very, prominent and active. And I got this tip about a Judge Raleigh's daughter. He's a magistrate judge in Collin County there. And, I don't know what kind of stuff you get into, but I get into a lot of different kind of stuff, and we do see factions of some Freemasonry sects, where, save me the conspiratorial jargon, that do participate in different things like satanic ritual abuse. And this is something that I've worked with kind of by association with the FBI previously. There's a person named Judy Byington that's worked with you guys she was on Dr. Phil recently. She's been on there a couple times. I've done a radio interview with her myself, Jeff, and she helped develop kind of a formula to identify satanic ritual abuse, which is a very specific type of abuse. And they'll use electronic harassment equipment. They do ritualistic abuse. And it's pretty nasty stuff, and it's something that's definitely real. And she worked with the state of Utah, FBI, and she had her own private practice as a psychiatrist out there and worked with MHMR for the state, and again in Utah. And the Mormon churches were heavily involved in this stuff, and they were using the Mormon church as a cover. And they're not exclusive to the Mormon church, these guys that do this stuff. A lot of times we do see it out of bands of CIA and others. And even FBI has had ties in this, and I don't mean to, I think there's a lot of great people in the FBI. And besides the stuff that becomes politicized in the media and so on, any relationship that I've ever really had with FBI has been a good one. And I'll spare you the details on that. But bottom line, Morgan Raleigh was busted by Secret Service for counterfeiting with her pimp. And she's a judge's daughter. And I had the opportunity to interview her pimp for a number of hours, really, over a duration of time. And he divulged a lot of information to me about a lot of things, as did no less than 5 other people talking to me about what went on at the judge's house while they were all growing up together. And even Morgan's, all her friends, they posted on Facebook. She had a back page ad. I mean, she was tricking. And Judge Raleigh's son was indicted on 11 counts of continuous sexual abuse on a minor, and he was convicted for that in Collin County, and he's doing 20 years on that. And there's a common underlying theme here with the judge himself, and my concern stems for the youngest child that he has now. I've made a video about that, and I'm happy to send it to you, and I kind of break it down in there. But, Judge Raleigh, I reviewed his caseload independently for stuff I've been working on, and he is the clearest MO I've ever seen of a predator. And, I'm pretty good at, I'm pretty investigative minded, buddy. And so he's got it. If he's not a predator, I would be so... it would renew my faith in humanity, and I don't need that to happen in order to get this moved forward. I mean, we know that this has gone on with his kids, and they're still suffering for it because she's going to prison, his son's in prison, and he's a fucking judge. And I feel like Greg has been covering this up in Collin County. I'm going to tell you straight up. And so I've tried to offer this information to Greg. They put out a fucking warrant for me. I'll tell you straight up, dude. I don't have to tell you where I work from, and I'm not going to, but I work black operations, okay? And that's easy to look up and find out. And so you can see me doing this. And so I have been involved in some disclosure. I have some friends that are involved in disclosure. And in fact, I was just working with, I probably shouldn't mention anybody's names, but I would like to develop some trust with you in order to work with you on this, because these guys have done nothing but try to cover this up. I leaned on one of their sheriff's deputies, and when I asked him, what do you need to tell me about the corruption in your department, he kind of stutters for a second, and he says, well, you see all kinds of things in the department. Bam, right there, I got him. I've got the recording of it. I've talked to federal marshals about this, and I don't want to speak for the U.S. Marshal Service, but I will say that things that are outside of their jurisdiction, they know are going on, and that includes child pornography. And so I've got a lot of information for you about a lot of stuff. And, the bottom line is...
child pornography going on? What do you mean by that?
Well, I would say get with the marshals about it.
All right, who should I ask for?
I'm going to put you in touch with the guy. I'll dig up his number, and I'll send it to you. And, they got into my phone. I have countermeasures for that. I retrieved the number and traced his phone number, called his ass back, and woke him up in the middle of the night asking for his help on this, because these guys are after me for releasing this information, and I need you to understand that. And Greg Willis is very involved in this. And so, if he is not somebody who is covered, because listen, Judy has identified people in FBI and other agencies that are strategically placed to cover up this information. I only hope to God that you're not one of them, and I don't mean to insinuate that you are, or the FBI is somebody that is not a good organization, because I am the first person to say FBI's got some great people in it. I'll tell you straight up, I worked with the Weapons of Mass Destruction coordinator to the extent that I told my buddy that I was working with that he was about to knock on his door, because I had some intelligence about that. And the Weapons of Mass Destruction coordinator goes over and knocks on my buddy's door. We were working on is overgrown. I am a target. Please keep this information to yourself, but I'll go ahead and tell you, there's people in CIA right now who do not like the way that these people are treating me, and it's coming down to, everything that would try to be avoided in a situation like this. And so these guys, there's some really dirty fucking cops in Collin County, and I need help from the FBI. You guys are the ones with the jurisdiction. You guys are the ones who can move in on this and take it. And so I'm going to give it to you, and I'm going to forward everything that I ever say to you is monitored 100% right now. Okay, and I'm recording this call for my own personal use, and you can bet that there's other people recording it. So just always know that when you talk to me, Jeff. And I try to operate in a transparent fashion as much as I can. But when I say these guys are targeting me, I was working with, and Walt Disney has ties back to the FBI. I don't know how aware you are of that, but there's a very strong link there. And I spoke at a conference in 2015, and an individual who was the wife of Walt Disney's executive secretary and mistress was her husband's godson. The mistress's godson was her husband. Okay, and we see how this plays out multi-generationally in their family. She was what we call a monarch. Are you familiar with monarch mind control programming? Okay, well, she was a monarch. She was being controlled. Her handler was John McCain. And let me tell you a nice little tip here. I found out about it. John McCain had a fucking, a dope operation going on. His fundraiser got busted. She was the one serving my girlfriend dope as a monarch, trying to basically get at me, get information, sabotage, all of this kind of stuff. And it all stems back to Walt Disney and connections within the FBI itself. And so I've nailed all this down with my investigation. All my superiors are aware of this information, and we need a good guy on the inside who's objective, who's not trying to cover this shit up, and wants to fucking do the right thing. And I'm so excited to be able to work with somebody like that in any capacity possible, just because, man, I've been steeped in this shit. And so I've been working this investigation for a long time, and we see these guys embedded in law enforcement. And, you know, I'll tell you, dude, I've got fucking drones out here. I've got helicopters. I've got all kinds of stuff. And I'll put you a video and sit here and tell you where I'm telling them to go, just to put a cherry on top and say, I can sound as crazy as I want to you, but the proof is in the pudding, and I got it. And so we're looking at Greg Willis. We're looking at the DA's office right now because they've been covering up. The sheriff's office, I don't want to sit here and make allegations, but, man, they're into some foul shit out there. And we're not going to let it slide. You know, I'm not the type of guy, I don't carry weapons. I don't make false threats and accusations against people for no reason, man. And these people that targeted me, we basically tried to charge them. You know, I've been through the programming myself. We were triggered to create an incident in which would basically set a hook into the DA's office as we watched how the cops in Plano handled it all the way into his office. They completely fucked up everything. They falsified reports. They fabricated evidence. We've got them on this without question. Shit, I'd love to be able to just give it to you, and you can go hammer them, because I'm ready to get out from underneath these people's thumb, and they don't want to keep me under their fucking thumb much longer, man. I mean, I'm not the type of... Hello.
Hello, is Eugene Irvin?
Yes.
Hi, Eugene. This is Detective Rich. I'm with the FBI here in Dallas.
Yeah. What's going on? And you know, I'm going out on a limb trusting you, dude. Okay? And I want to trust you. And I have a habit of believing the best in people to a fault for myself. And so, hold on. I don't know what you guys do. I'll just ask you to put that on my phone, and that shit is monster, dude. I'll put it right back on you. And that's not a threat or nothing. I'm not trying to be a dick. Collin County Judicial Child Sex Abuse. Collin County Judicial Child Sex Abuse Connection. Type that into the YouTube search bar. Okay? Okay. And you can see how I've put all that information in one nice little place for you. And the testimony of some of these people is key for you to keep going. I can put you in touch with the right people. I've already collected your testimony and forwarded it. Okay? So that's important. I'll go ahead and let you know that. And so we know these guys are dirty. We need you to find, you know, anyway, I'll prove it to you. You can get in here and tear this apart if you're for real right now.
Okay. Well, let me get back to you about that, okay?
All right, buddy. Thanks.